Hi everyone, welcome again to A Course in Miracles Live. And we're going through the workbook of A Course in Miracles, opening our hearts, opening our minds, letting go of our past definitions of absolutely everything, including the belief in time, and opening up to eternal life. The life that we share with God, letting go of the beliefs in biological life and seeing that life is beyond the body. Life is God and all that God creates in spirit. So today we go into workbook lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God. There are not different kinds of life, for life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition in which all that God created share. Like all His thoughts, it has no opposite. There is no death because what God created shares His life. There is no death because an opposite to God does not exist. There is no death because the Father and the Son are one. In this world there appears to be a state that is life's opposite. You call it death, yet we have learned that the idea of death takes many forms. It is the one idea which underlies all feelings that are not supremely happy. It is the alarm to which you give response of any kind that is not perfect joy. All sorrow, loss, anxiety, and suffering, and pain, even a little sigh of weariness, a slight discomfort, or the merest frown acknowledge death, and thus deny you live. You think that death is of the body, yet it is but an idea, irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs, but its origin is where it must be changed, if change occurs. Ideas leave not their source. The emphasis this course has placed on that idea is due to its centrality in our attempts to change your mind about yourself. It is the reason you can heal. It is the cause of healing. It is why you cannot die. Its truth established you as one with God. Death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. It is the belief conditions change, emotions alternate because of causes you cannot control, you did not make, and you can never change. It is the fixed belief ideas can leave their source and take on qualities the source does not contain, becoming different from their own origin, apart from it, in kind as well as distance, time and form. Death cannot come from life. Ideas remain united to their source. They can extend all that their source contains. In that, they can go far beyond themselves, but they cannot give birth to what was never given them. As they are made, so will their making be. As they were born, so will they then give birth. And where they come from, there will they return. The mind can think it sleeps, but that is all. It cannot change what is its waking state. It cannot make a body, nor abide within a body. What is alien to the mind does not exist because it has no source. For mind creates all things that are, and cannot give them attributes it lacks, nor change its own eternal mindful state. It cannot make the physical. What seems to die is but the sign of mind asleep. The opposite of life can only be another form of life, As such, it can be reconciled with what created it, because it is not opposite in truth. Its form may change, it may appear to be what it is not, yet mind is mind, awake or sleeping. It is not its opposite in anything created, nor in what it seems to make when it believes it sleeps. God creates only mind awake. He does not sleep, and his creations cannot share what he gives not, nor make conditions which he does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite to thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thoughts of God remain forever changeless, with the power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. What seems to be the opposite of life is merely sleeping, when the mind elects to be what it is not, and to assume an alien power which it does not have, a foreign state it cannot enter, or a false condition not within its source. It merely seems to go to sleep a while. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen never has occurred. The changes wrought are substanceless, and all events are nowhere. When the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was. Let us today be children of the truth and not deny our holy heritage. Our life is not as we imagine it. Who changes life because he shuts his eyes or makes himself what he is not because he sleeps and sees in dreams an opposite to what he is? We will not ask for death in any form today, nor will we let imagined opposites to life abide in even an instant, where the thought of life eternal has been set by God himself. His holy home we strive to keep today, as he established it, and wills it be forever and forever. He is Lord of what we think today, and in his thoughts, which have no opposite, we understand there is one life, and that we share with him, with all creation, with their thoughts as well, whom he created in a unity of life that cannot separate in death and leave the source of life from where it came. We share one life because we have one source, a source from which perfection comes to us, remaining always in holy minds which he created perfect. As we were, so we are now, and will forever be. A sleeping mind must waken as it sees its own perfection mirroring the Lord of life so perfectly it fades into what is reflected there, and now it is no more a mere reflection. It becomes the thing reflected, and the light which makes reflection possible. No vision now is needed, for the awakened mind is one that knows its source, its Christ self, its holiness. There is one life, and that I share with God. And for support for this amazing lesson, we go back 40 lessons to lesson 127. There is no love but God's. Perhaps you think that different kinds of love are possible. Perhaps you think there's a kind of love for this, a kind for that, a way of loving one, another way of loving still another. Love is one. It has no separate parts and no degrees, no kinds nor levels, no divergencies and no distinctions. It is like itself, unchanged throughout. It never alters with a person or a circumstance. It is the heart of God and also of His Son. Love's meaning is obscure to anyone who thinks that love can change. He does not see that changing love must be impossible, and thus he thinks that he can love at times and hate at other times. He also thinks that love can bestow on one and yet remain itself, although it is withheld from others. To believe these things of love is not to understand it. If it could make such distinctions, it would have to judge between the righteous and the sinner and perceive the Son of God in separate parts. Love cannot judge. As it is one itself, it looks on all as one. Its meaning lies in oneness, and it must elude the mind that thinks of it as partial or in part. There is no love but God's, and all of love is His. There is no other principle that rules where love is not. Love is a law without an opposite. Its wholeness is the power holding everything as one, the link between the Father and the Son, which holds them both forever as the same. No course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are could fail to emphasize that there can never be a difference in what you really are and what love is. Love's meaning is your own and shared by God Himself. For what you are is what He is. There is no love but His, and what He is everything there is. There is no limit placed upon Himself, and so you are unlimited as well. No law the world obeys can help you grasp the love's meaning. What the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it dark and secret. There is not one principle the world upholds but violates the truth of what love is and what you are as well. Seek not within the world to find your Christ self. Love is not found in darkness and in death. Yet it is perfectly apparent to the eyes that see and ears that hear love's voice. Today we practice making free your mind of all the laws you think you must obey, of all the limits under which you live, and all the changes that you think are part of human destiny. Today we take the largest single step this course requests in your advance toward its established goal. If you achieve the faintest glimmering of what love means today, you have advanced in distance without measure and in time beyond the count of years to your release. Let us together, then, be glad to give some time to God today and understand there is no better use for this time than this. For 15 minutes twice today, escape from every law in which you now believe. Open your mind and rest. The world that seems to hold you prisoner can be escaped by anyone who does not hold it dear. Withdraw all value you have placed upon its meager offerings and senseless gifts, and let the gift of God replace them all. Call to your Father, certain that His voice will answer. He Himself has promised this, and He Himself will place a spark of truth within your mind wherever you give up a false belief, a dark illusion of your own reality and what love means. He will shine through your idle thoughts today and help you understand the truth of love. In loving gentleness, He will abide with you as you allow His voice to teach love's meaning to your clean and open mind. He will bless the lesson with His love. Today, the legion of future years of waiting for salvation disappears before the timelessness of what you learn. Let us give thanks today that we are spared a future like the past. Today we leave the past behind us, nevermore to be remembered. And we raise our eyes upon a different present, where a future dawns unlike the past in every attribute. The world in infancy is newly born, and we will watch it grow in health and strength to shed its blessing upon all who come to learn to cast aside the world they thought was made in hate, to be love's enemy. Now are they all made free, along with us. Now are they all our brothers in God's love. We will remember them throughout the day, because we cannot leave a part of us outside of our love if we would know our Christ self. At least 3 times an hour, think of one who makes the journey with you and who came to learn what you must learn. And as he comes to mind, give him this message from your Christ self. I bless you, brother, with the love of God, which I would share with you. For I would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's, and yours, and mine, and everyone's. Strong support. There is one life, and that I share with God. There is one love, and that I share with God. Because, as we just read, there is no love but God's. So, to further remember our lesson today, I am going to play a song from Oman and Shanti in their Let Me Remember album. And this one's called The Healing of God's Son. And the beginning of this song is so ethereal. Shanti is just letting her voice drift higher and higher into higher octaves, just mirroring our ascension back to heaven and the healing of God's Son, the remembrance of Christ, the remembrance of heaven. Sweet. So, we go through the day remembering there is one life, and that I share with God. And today is movie day, so I'll be joining lots of friends from around the world in about 2 hours and 17 minutes from now. If you want to join in, if you're belong to Tribe of Christ, you can just go and check out on the link here the programs and events, and go down to Tribe of Christ. It's a small fee to join Tribe of Christ, and then we do these movies every 2 weeks. Today will be a first time showing of a composite movie. Sometimes we do composite movies, and this movie is from a filmmaker named Richard Linklater, and I've enjoyed sharing his movies and teaching from his movies, because he's always, just like another filmmaker named Henry Jaglom, they are always looking to discover the deeper meaning of life. And we know from our lesson today from Jesus, there is one life, and that I share with God. And this will be an exploration through the movie of waking up from the dream of this world to that one life, and looking at forgiveness in a very, very profound and deep way. So if you can join us in about 2 hours and 15 minutes for the movie, just go to the website here and make sure you're part of Tribe of Christ, and then in we go, and away we go. Higher and higher and higher, ascending to that one life that we share with God. Okay, have a beautiful day. Love you.